Hello, hello. Today we have a big one, and I'm hoping you can see the name of this palette. This is a really big P. Louise palette. This P. Louise palette is called a Droplet of Magic. It is a Halloween eyeshadow palette. They specifically came out with this palette. I think it might have been... was it 2023? I think it was 2023 they originally came out with this, because I ended up buying this last year in 2024, and I remember buying it eventually, and I remember feeling FOMO. I was like, I think I should just buy it. I know it's more expensive. So this palette retails for $55. Thank you, Jesus. I believe I got this on a big super sale. I believe this was part of my huge 50% off P. Louise haul. So I got this palette for $37. It is very well worth $37. If you're not familiar with P. Louise is from the UK, and they are super extra. They are so extra. Everything they do is incredibly detailed. It's usually always on the pricier side, because everything is so detailed. There's not a part of this box that doesn't have anything. I wish they could have maybe done the words in maybe some other color instead of black on black. I get that it's kind of cool, but it's hard to show this off when it's black on black. Maybe like a dark purple, maybe a teal. There's red in this. Like, they could have used maybe a little bit, just so you can see the words a lot better, because when I was looking at the back, so the back has the ingredients, but y'all, even in person, this is really, really hard to read. So let me see if I can flash a light. Do you see how hard okay. I'm flashing direct light on it, and I'm hoping you guys can see it. Like, you have to directly flashlight on it so you can see it. And the first thing I want to talk about, because I believe the ingredients are only on the box, and God, I wish they would have done this in a white. It is very, very hard to see the ingredients on this. It's also very hard to see what shades are eye safe and which are not, because I'm going to talk about it. Here's the real tea. Some of these shades did irritate my eyes a little bit. And by irritate my eyes, I mean, for me, what it meant for me, it was not instant. It was probably around the 3 to 4 hour mark, my eyes would start to get itchy. And looking at this right now, it looks like more of the shades on page 1 are eye safe than the shades on page 2. A lot of the shades on page 2 are not eye safe. And that makes sense to me, because the shades on page 2 are purples and reds, and that makes sense to me that those kinds of shades would not be eye safe. The first page is more teal and grays, so that makes a little bit more sense to me why they would be eye safe. So just a heads up, I don't usually have any irritation with eyeshadows when I use them, but if you are ultra sensitive to eyeshadows, yes, these shades will stain your eyes. Yes, you may experience some irritation. I did experience some irritation, not enough for, my eyes to become swollen or anything like that, but after a couple hours of wearing it, my eyes did become a little bit itchy. And of course, I'm always going to, talk about anything that I experience with these, and while I love this palette, and this was a really fun, beautiful Halloween palette to use, I wanted to talk about it, and of course I'm going to bring it up. So I'm going to turn this light off now. There was a different version of this. I don't have that palette. I'm thinking of maybe trying to buy it this year. But this is the black version of this Book of Spells from P. Louise. I feel like the people really wanted this Droplet of Magic palette versus the Hocus Pocus palette that they came out with. So it says right here, it says Book of Spells, a Droplet of Magic, and it's very witchy themed, and it's so great with the theme. Let me see if I can try and read the back. There's kind of a little poem on the back of this, and then, like I said, if you want to find out what shades are actually like eye safe, you're gonna have to try and find it on the back, because when I'm on the website, I can see that there's an ingredient list, but it's not broken up into shades that are eye safe and shades that are not. The pictures are also not of the back of the palette. So, just a heads up, hopefully you can kind of see something. But here's the box. Very cool. It's like a book. That's the theme. It's a book of spells, right? Let's get to the actual palette. This is the palette. Like I said, it is very extra. It is very big. It is very thick. This is not a travel-friendly palette. This is the kind of palette you have probably amongst your books, kind of as for show. Let's see. Yeah, on the back of this, you will not see the ingredients. It says palettes for eye and face. Keep that in mind. There's a little witchy spell poem in the back, and then it comes with this. It comes with a lock and key. It's a very simple lock and key, nothing too crazy. You can use it, so if we go in here, click like that, turn, it opens it up. So if you wanted to, don't know why you would, but you can remove it, you can remove the lock, you can pull this through here, put this back on. Let's see, how can I put this back on? Let's put it back this way, like that, and now it is closed, and you actually can't open it now. You actually cannot open it either way. It's a 2-page book. You cannot open it either way when it is actually locked. So this lock will hold it. It's obviously not a super complicated lock. If you really wanted to, you could rip that off. But you know, it's there, it's fun, it's cute. Like I said, Louise is super duper extra about it. Put my key in there, just turn, completely unlocks it. I don't need that. If you got kids or something, or maybe someone who's trying to steal your shades, then okay. But I just keep it locked on that little pleather strap that they have here. This, they also have, let's see if we can get it to focus a little bit. This moves, so you can move it either way. It's not frozen, it's not still. You can move this in any way that you need. But let's start with the top. The reason why I bought this palette is the first page. I love the first page of this. So you can open this back, so that is that second page. And then the first page, you unfold this, unfold it, and what you're gonna find in there is that first color story. There is a mirror in here. I'm trying to cover it. There's a mirror on both sides. But once you open this up, here's the color story, and the little piece of plastic does also say a droplet of magic. But if we remove that, this is what got me about this one. I've never seen a color story like this put together, and I absolutely love it. This is my favorite side. This is why I wanted this palette specifically first. I love a freaking mint shade. I love a teal, and I don't think I've ever seen a palette like this where it goes into these greens to these cooler grays, these kind of purpley grays, just very grays. We have a silver with a kind of light blue sheen over here. We have these grays that are a lot cooler leaning. These greens are also more on what I would call teal, more on the teal side, and every single shade, this is how you know they spent money on this. Every single shade has its own unique stamp, and every stamp is related to the name of the shade. I tried my best not to dig in there too hard, too much, just so you could kind of see up close the names of the shades, and the beautiful stamps on every single shade is insane. So like we'll have over here, I'm trying my best to hold this. Let me hold it this way. So we have over here like So Beautiful, and it's got a little ghost. We have Nightmare that has a bat. We have Fright Night, which has a tree. Let me get this closer. We have over here Coven, which has a witch's hat. We have the number 13, and you can see that the number 13 is right there. I'm trying my best to hold this around. Web of Lies is a web. Halloween, and it's a calendar where it says October 31st. Like, it's just so cool. And, you know, apart from some of the itchiness, like I said, I did experience that itchiness comes from the fact that these shades are just ultra pigmented. They're just very pigmented, and with pigmented shades you are usually going to find some irritation. I feel like the irritation most likely came from the actual matte shades versus the shimmer shades. Some of the shimmer shades worked better than others. Some shimmer shades I was able to pick up with a brush. Some shimmer shades I had to use a finger with. I feel like as an enthusiast who loves shimmer shades, you can definitely tell that the money for this palette was spent more on focusing on mattes and the packaging, because I feel like the mattes and the packaging are just exquisite. They're just incredibly awesome. There's not a matte shade in here that isn't beautifully buttery and pigmented. But for the shimmers, there are some shimmers that, you know, shimmer a lot more than others. Some that were a little too soft in the pan, some that were very easy to pick up and glide on with a brush. Like, there's a lot more variety in the formula of the shimmers in here versus a solid matte formula color story that we have in here. So on this side, I want to swatch, which one? Okay, let's do Phantom. Phantom has this cute little ghosty over here. I've got this cute little ghosty. We got Phantom. I really loved Full Moon, which is this purple gray over here. Fright Night was also very beautiful. And let's do Nightmare, which is like a light gray. All very, very pigmented. I feel like this kind of meets my, what would you call it? Like when I was looking at where am I going to find these grungy shades and a Halloween palette, this palette, it was specifically put together for Halloween. I feel like this was a good candidate for my grungy girls, the ones who asked for these more alternative, darker, unsaturated palettes. I feel like this is a really good contestant, and you can still buy this. You can still get this. It's still available on the P. Louise website. If you're looking for a really big, extra palette, this is that palette. She's that girl. Of course, it comes with a little tag of warning. Be careful around your eyes. But you can't say these shades aren't pigmented or buttery smooth or just like super easy to work with, because they really were. They were just so perfectly perfect to pick up on a brush. It's really great. For shimmers, let's pick up, I really loved Dead End. Dead End was beautifully shimmery. I also really loved P. Louise. This beautiful dark one over here. Let's look at Coven. Coven is gorge, like I said. Y'all know I love just this beautiful green. Let's maybe do, let's see, what do we have? Let's do a blue one. I think I really liked Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat. And it has like a candy bag. Oh, look at those. Okay. They're just so beautifully shimmery. Very fine in the shimmer. So maybe do it up here. Save some spots on my arm. I love Coven. I think that's my favorite shimmer. And then you have this blue, which I was also not expecting to be so glamorous. It's beautifully glamorous. Super sparkly. Just ultra gorgeous. And that's just the first page. There's 2 pages, and they've just announced they're coming out with another like Halloween book of spells, and that one has 3 pages. So that one's gonna be a little crazy. I'm excited to see it on the website. It's not on the website yet, but I've seen pictures of it, and that's gonna be coming out. I don't know when it's gonna be released yet, but it's coming. So let's open up the back now, and the back just opens up. So let's put this here. Again, there is a mirror in there. In here it says the same exact thing, a droplet of magic. We're going to remove this plastic piece, and over here we have the purples and the reds. Okay, very intense. I feel, especially with the reds, you have to be very daring, very bold to use these shades. These are also, when I see these shades of purple, these kind of berry shades of purple, it reminds me of Halloween. It really does. And then of course you have your reds, which I feel like are always very specific to the blood and gore of Halloween. Just look how bright red those shades are. So you can understand why you might experience some irritation on your eyes. As always, be careful. You know yourself best. You could probably wear these in shorter amount of times, maybe for like a Halloween party, but maybe not all day is what I would think. My eyes did eventually get itchy. And again, every shade has its own beautiful, beautiful stamp to go along with the theme of that name. So over here, we have a Castle for Hex. I loved this purple. This is a really nice light purple. And then, let's see. I really liked 3 a.m. This is more of a satin. Look at how deep that is. That is a black base with like a purple shift. Very pretty. And then, Lord Almighty, I think I really liked Slay the Game. This was a nice shade in contrast with all these really bright, intense shades. I also really loved, should we do What Lies Below? Let's do another matte. So let's do Vampire Kiss. Vampire Kiss is one of the deepest, like, actual, like, blood red. That's a grungy red, because it is an unsaturated, just desaturated red, just very, very murky kind of shade. I was trying to look for my little list of, like, colors that counted as like grungy colors, because I really don't want to make all these videos and just keep to use the word grungy, grungy, grungy all over again. I mean, this one's obviously more of a brighter shade, not a grungy shade, but it still fits within that purple Halloween kind of vibe. So pretty. Then we got this wonderfully dark, just black kind of satin with a purple sheen, a purple shift. We have this kind of red-based shade with a gold-orange shift as well. And then we have this incredibly pigmented red, which I was trying not to go too hard on, but it is the bloodiest, like, unicorn blood shade I've ever seen for the eye. It is really pretty, really intense. Look how it left my finger. It is very, these shades are so pigmented. Your skin is going to be dyed, okay? These are all really pretty, but I think that if these were separated in two different palettes, I would have never bought this one. I have so many red shades with Glam Light. I have a Juvia's palette with berry shades in it. And I have a lot of palettes with these kinds of purples, so I would not feel like I was missing out if half this palette is gone. But that first page I absolutely love. It's nice to have this second page, but I'm a girl for the first page. Which one are you? Are you a first page girl or a second page girl? Thank you so much for watching today. I feel like this is a really good fit for that in-between of something specifically, centrically for Halloween. This was 100% made for the spooky season, and I think it also fits, especially that first page, a lot of just like what you could call urban decay shades. This kind of like decayed, kind of dirty, desaturated shades is definitely very much, I feel like, on that first page. And then you got these other shades that also really brighten up your looks. This is definitely a keep for me. I'm going to keep my eye on to see if the Hocus Pocus Regain Focus Halloween eyeshadow palette, or the white version of this, comes out on sale, because I would really prefer to get that on sale if I can. I also want to know how much this newer, bigger palette is going to cost. I'm wondering if maybe it's going to be between like maybe $60, $80. So we'll see. I'm keeping this one. It's beautiful. Let me know which page was your favorite.